Okay, so you've got the who, what, where, and when of a float plan. Go down to the second box down under filing a float plan. First find filing a float plan, red print, middle of page 5, and then go to the second box. For extended outings on the water, leave a float plan with a relative or friend or at least a local marina. So let's talk about a float plan. You're going out for a day out on the water. You want to let loved ones know where the heck you're going. You want to let them know what boat you're on. You want to let them know who's on that boat with you, and you want to let them know when you expect to get back. The when is the driving force of a float plan. If you're not back by a certain time, they are going to act on your behalf to get you help if you need it. So on your float plan, be as descriptive as possible. Does anyone here trailer their boat? Show of hands. You trailer your boat, you leave clues behind at the boat ramp. Called your what? Called your trailer and your car, your vehicle. So that's a clue that needs to be on your float plan. For example, I trailer my boat many different locations throughout New Jersey. By float plan, I have all the places where I launch my boat. In the morning, when I know where I'm going, I circle the location and I circle the phone number associated with it. So now my wife knows exactly where I am. Okay, so in this case, let's say I'm going to return home at 5 o'clock today. I put down 5 o'clock, all the passenger information, all of my boat. I have copies of this, and I took them, I made up a bunch of copies, I glued them, Elmer's glue, and I just tear off. So in the morning, I put the float plan on the counter. She's got all that information. You could text it if you want to be, technologically savvy. That would work fine. There's a Float Plan Central on the U.S. Coast Guard auxiliary website, Float Plan Central. You could text all this. You could fill out a float plan online and send it to the people who you're going to ask to help you if something bad were to go wrong. So she looks at the float plan, 5 o'clock, supposed to be back. I don't respond by 5 o'clock. First thing she does, try to reach out to me on my cell phone. She can't reach me, she'll try to reach for my friend's cell phone numbers, whose are listed on the float plan. She can't reach any of them. She calls the marina where I launched my boat. What question does she ask them?
Are you back yet?
How am I going to know? How is she going to know if I'm back yet? Is my trailer and vehicle still in the parking lot? So now they send them out. They go out and look. They call her back. Say, yes, we still see the trailer and the vehicle back. That's still in the parking lot. So now she could assume something bad has potentially happened to me. The next phone call she's most likely going to make is to her boyfriend. I'm sorry. Not that life insurance. The Coast Guard. I've actually made phone calls to the Coast Guard. I do a lot of my boating in the Raritan Bay. The Coast Guard patrols that area. So there's a phone number that you can call on Staten Island side that will call the Coast Guard, and you'll be able to find out, get information to them via the float plan. So the moral of the story is I'll give you an example. 2009, 4 football players left the Gulf Coast of Florida. Anybody remember this story? Okay, they went out 40 miles in their 21-foot boat, not a good idea by any of my standards, and they end up capsizing their boat at 6 o'clock in the evening. No one filed a float plan. No one knew where they were. They did not report them overdue until 2 o'clock the next morning. Long story short, 3 days later, they found one sole survivor. Had they had a float plan, the Coast Guard would have known where they were, okay? They would have known where to look. 40 miles out in the Gulf is truly the proverbial needle in a haystack. It's a miracle that they even found them at all. But they found one sole survivor. That's how the story was told. So bottom line, if I were to ask you, what are you going to leave with a friend or relative before taking a sudden outing on the water? Your answer is leave a float plan. Okay.